What's the most valuable thing about TikTok?
All right. Now, I'm not much of a TikToker. I'm a YouTuber. And even though my Facebook page is larger, I still consider myself a YouTuber because I just resonate more with the platform over there. But nonetheless, when my Facebook page crossed over 1 million followers, they gave me an account executive. And this account executive would schedule meetings with me to talk with me about how I can make my Facebook page more shareable or more viewable, etc. Right? And I told my account executive, I said, listen, I actually prefer TikTok over Facebook and Instagram because there are some things in place that I haven't seen people talking about yet. And so on the tail end of Joyanne Reed's video, I wanted to bring in this aspect of it because I feel like there's something that people are not talking about. Branding. So Joyanne Reed is talking about the algorithm of TikTok and how you all really love the community and your businesses and stuff like that. But the question that people are not asking or answering is, how did TikTok become such a community? How did people become web famous from TikTok? And here's an answer that I see as an outsider coming and using the platform. Is the branding. Do you all remember when TikTok first came out and everybody was going viral on TikTok and people started sharing their content on other platforms? What happened? There was branding on the video, and so people could go back to TikTok and see who made the video, who this person is. Why? Their name started out up here, and then it went down there on the video, and then at the end it had this the TikTok colored branding, and then your name would be in a small rectangle. Has anybody noticed that has gone away? About 3 weeks ago, I went to upload a video onto YouTube because let me tell you, I don't put anything on TikTok because I learned the hard way. I don't put anything on TikTok that isn't on other platforms. So I recorded a video on TikTok because I like the recording aspect here. I downloaded it and I went to upload it on my other platforms, and I noticed that the branding was gone. This was about 3 weeks ago. This is how I knew this whole TikTok ban was some shenanigans. I'm going to tell you how. When I crossed over 1 million on my Facebook page and they gave me this account executive would talk to me about ways to make my Facebook and Instagram pages more, I can't think of the right word, but more palatable, really. And the woman told me, she said, listen, we're going to hurt you in the algorithm here if you upload branded videos to our platform. I said, oh no, this is my branding. I'm Tanya TKO. That's my name on there. They're like, well, if you're using another platform that their logo and beating around the bush. I just had to say it out for her. I'm like, are you talking about TikTok and their branding, right? And I'm like, well, see, the issue is that people share my videos, they put them all over the place, and TikTok, that name on there, helps people know where to go back to. And she was like, well, I'm just letting you know. And true to word, they changed the algorithm. Think about it. Remember, because TikTok took over. Remember, their videos were going viral on Instagram, and what it was a redirect back to TikTok. Meta, Facebook, Zuckerberg, they didn't like that. They didn't like that another platform was dominating on their platform. So they fixed the algorithm so that with that branding, you wouldn't get views. So then I said, okay, F that. I said, listen, you all need to create a way for there to be branding on your videos. So if you remember, for a little while on Instagram, they would put, like, when you went to download a video, they would put some branding on there with some cheap little, it was like a one color graphic logo in the little corner. And then they would write your name in this narrow font that nobody could read. It was so stupid and ridiculous. And I spoke to the account executive about that. And very soon after that, my account executive no longer contacted me because I was like, listen, I still prefer TikTok because you can't read anyone's name in that logo on Instagram, right? So this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. So enjoy Ann Reid's video and go and watch that. It's tagged below. She talks about how Donald Trump talked about how he wants the government to have a 50% stake in TikTok, right? Listen to this. Remember, this isn't about the community that you've built and the people that you love and the place that you are. It's about control. It's about he who controls the paperboy or controls the marquee or controls the ticker tape. He who controls the information controls you, because we are just a consortium, a conglomerate of the information that we have. No, like somebody in a video I saw was like, have you ever noticed how talking to people who don't use TikTok is like speaking to someone from another world, another planet, because they just don't even have the basic information that we're sharing over here, like waking us up. Notice how, speaking of wake, and Joy ended her video talking about stay woke. Notice how they co-opted the word woke and tried to make it seem like the woke this, the woke police, woke the, and they try to make it seem like being awake is a bad thing. What's the opposite of being awake? They want you to be asleep. But nonetheless, let me just say this. It was never about you and about your community. It's always been about trying to get information to you. This is why they want to take away any branding of your, and I think that's, listen, I think this is why a lot of people really resonated with TikTok, because they were like, I'm making this content. I don't have to worry about it being taken and shared, because TikTok is making sure that it's branded with my name. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. These platforms wanted to make sure that it was never about you, that you could never become famous, that the views would never come back to you, that they could co-opt and use your stuff on other platforms so that it seemed like it originated on their platform. So a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, when I noticed that TikTok was no longer branding, even at the end, no, you remember that beep? And then the name of the logo would come up? All of that is gone. And I thought, well, you know what, maybe TikTok is complying with, you know, the wants of these platforms so that you could get more views on the platforms. But now I'm hearing people saying that their profile picture on Meta looks like it has the same design scheme as now the profile picture on TikTok. So I think it's about more than that. I think it's about these oligarchs, about these billionaires, about these people who are power hungry and control hungry. I think it's about them manipulating it so that you are unknown, so that your name, so that your branding, so that your unique identifier, your screen name, your moniker, your whatever, so that you are unknown. So that it's all about the platform, so that they remove you and your uniqueness from it. I want to know what your thoughts are on this, because when I noticed it the other day, I was like, or a few weeks ago, I was like, I wonder if they're trying to help us get more views on these other platforms. But now that I see that and you could see like the CEO, owner, whoever he is of TikTok, that he was kind of smirking as he was bending the knee to Trump, talking about Donald Trump. Oh, he's thinking about saving. Oh, yeah. Right. It was just so dumb. It was like an inside joke. I knew that it was some effery. Let me tell you, the night before it was supposed to go down, I made these orders in the TikTok shop. I said, let me see what they're going to do. Because if it was really going down in the US, they would have stopped orders from going through. But let me tell you, the very next morning when TikTok was supposedly down, I was getting notifications about my orders being shipped. Let me tell you, it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous foolishness. This whole boondoggle was just dumb. But I want to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think the final play is here, and what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to leave TikTok? Like, I started unfollowing people who were on Instagram talking about no TikTok, no problem. And they just started trying to do the same stuff on Meta-owned platforms. I started unfollowing. I'm like, no, you got no backbone. You got no spine. I understand that we want to be the positivity police and all this other stuff, but there's such a thing as toxic positivity. And if you are not, look, if you're just going to be grateful for the crumbs, we can't be friends. I need people around who are willing to wake up and stand up. Listen to what it is that I'm saying and answer below.